Bet you didn't see this one coming, but here we are nonetheless at USA International Speedway. It's, as you can tell, a small, short track NASCAR, I think like one of those at-home series tracks, whatever they call it. But anyway, here we are in the rookie street stock oval racing side of iRacing. And never would have expected this to have happened when I was planning out our racing season, but if we recall from our last video at Road Atlanta, it didn't really go so well, the last big road race we did. And then going from Road Atlanta, the next week was Okayama, and I was not interested in doing the 3-hour race there ahead of time. It's just not a track that I like, so I didn't prioritize it in my schedule. So I didn't have time for that anyway. So I skipped that week. Essentially, just did the weekly race because that is, I did free races that week. Again, said the wrong thing. I did the sprint races that week because it was a free track. So of course I already owned it. And then going into the next week, which is literally just finished, as this video is a little bit late, we can see that the video, or that the week has already come to a close. But Bathurst has just ended, and I was anticipating not being available for that week, and so I didn't buy the track, and so I did become available this week to race it. But I didn't own the track, so I didn't race it. So that was 2 weeks off in a row to just do kind of some other things. And this was the first thing I started doing was using these street stock cars in just some AI racing. I just kind of wanted to back off from multiplayer a little bit, and I did some AI racing and had a lot of fun at Charlotte with these cars. And then so I started experimenting with wanting to do some oval racing, really enjoyed it, and this was actually a shock to me, qualifying second here and then keeping up with this guy in first place, and looks like I was about 1 to 2 tenths off his pace the entire time, and as to be expected. But it looks like we did clear the rest of the field by a good margin, so that was really cool to find some success after some really frustrating experiences the last couple weeks, maybe, or the last week for sure, that we were really interested. And so going forward, I think that this is decided next season. I already have a... is it a D or a C? I think I have a D license in oval. And so I'm going to go forward with the ARCA Menards Series. And going to do some of that. I'll do a partial run in that in Season 2 of 2024. And then we're going to do partial endurance as far as what is available that fits in the schedule with work. We're not going to specifically request time off for that, or somebody made a comment in my last video that kind of irked me, but someone was like, oh, if you're taking time off work for iRacing, and it's not really what it is. I mean, it's when you don't have like a super crazy important job, and you just get scheduled for, there are more hours available to you than you get scheduled for, so if that makes sense. So like in a week, so it's not like I was missing work, so to say, as much as just putting it on a different day, if that makes sense. So that, I don't know why that really irked me. But anyway, again, I won't be taking, blocks out of my schedule just to be able to make endurance races next year or next season. I'm just going to make whatever happens. And then I will focus on the VRS sprint race. That's going to be our primary focus. And so we're going to part-time NASCAR ovals with the ARCA Menards Series, part-time endurance, and then we'll do, obviously, the GT3. We'll end up doing, not in video, but offline, or online/offline. I'll end up doing the GT3 Challenge 20-minute sprint race, and then of course the VRS sprint series will be the main focus of next season. And I'm gonna definitely budget myself going into the next seasons instead of just buying all of the tracks. That's why I was saying I was gonna do some partial seasons, partial calendars. But anyway, here we get to the end of you can see we're on lap 34 out of 40. and a lapped car there goes down in front of us, or rather gets loose in front of us, and I did not avoid it, or maybe there was no avoiding that. Maybe a better driver, more experienced driver could have, but anyway, we didn't. We turn around, we get flipped around, spun around, get moving in the right direction, but we still retained second place. We definitely were not going to get in front of that car in front of us. They were just too fast for us. So second place was going to be the best that we could do. But now we have third and fourth place just breathing down our neck in the same second. And you can see second place in particular getting up to our bumper repeatedly. So these last 6 laps are really gonna push us here, and we're gotta make sure to do it right. I don't know how damaged the car is, so I definitely have to be careful with the car, but still push for all I can. And having inexperience, having a lack of experience, with all of this is gonna be a huge grain of salt. But the race was looking to be a little bit boring. It was getting a little bit stale, and I'd been thinking that for the last few laps, and then all of a sudden to have this thrown into the mix, and there we go. The guy will make his dives on us in the corner entry. I don't think that was wise. I think if he saved up his moves like that, instead of making those lunges, if he just slowly inched his way forward, he could have made a move, a big lunge like that once at the end from my bumper, instead of making them to get to my bumper, because they're not going to stick for very long, so you got to time those right. And I think if he were to save them, instead of going for every opportunity that he feels like exists, I think if he saved that up, he could have taken this position away from me. But we're gonna defend pretty easily against this guy. Like I was saying, he's just making those moves over and over again, trying to lunge at us. So as long as we're cautious and keep hitting our marks, he's not getting around us. He might get annoying with us. He might make contact with us. He might get side by side with us, but he's not going to get around us. And as he is, dropping back quickly at this point, lapped traffic is actually being super polite, I would say. And we go into the last lap, and it's nothing but gravy from here. So that was really cool to get a podium in this race. I didn't really expect it. You can see we got the damage is starting to impact the car here, as radiator temp, water temps getting high, as our radiators probably smashing that front end from that impact we took. But this was a fun time. It definitely encouraged me to open my eyes for next season going forward. But that was that. I think we're going to take a look at the replay here, but definitely looking forward to season 2, and definitely looking forward to some new series, and not going to be going whole hog like we did last time. That was a little disappointing. We'll see you next time.